The Honda Fireblade will be 30 years old next year. Conceived back in 1992, it became an instant icon in the motorcycling world and has gone through various changes, developments and evolutions since then. In 2020, Honda brought out an all-new Fireblade, now called the CBR1000RR-R. Yes, there are 4 R's in there, with the special racier SP version showing their intentions to take back the World Superbike crown. For 2022, to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Fireblade, Honda are releasing a special limited edition paint scheme paying homage to the original 1992 Tricolour livery of the first Fireblade. But that's not all. They have made some key updates to the CBR1000RR-R Fireblade SP and base version alike. In this video we will take a closer look at the paint scheme and the other little touches you get with the anniversary model, and we'll also go through the updates Honda have made to the Fireblade for 2022. Hello and welcome to Moto Chatter. Let's dive into the details of the Honda CBR1000RR-R Fireblade SP. Starting with that limited edition paint scheme, it not only echoes and pays homage to the original 92 Fireblade, but is also designed by the same guy who designed the original paint scheme too, Mr. Hiroaki Tsutsui. But having him come back to pen this anniversary paint design makes it a really authentic gesture. In addition to the limited edition red, blue and white of the tank and fairings, it comes with a blue rear seat just like in 1992. You get anniversary logos on the tank and smart key fob. It has an anniversary logo laser engraved into the Aerodynamics silencer, and in line with it being a limited edition, there is a unique serial number laser engraved onto the top yoke. To finish it off, there is also a special Ring of Fire anniversary logo animation on the dash when you turn it on. This limited edition 30th anniversary Tricolour paint scheme is only available on the SP model, and the Fireblade SP still comes in 2 of the paint schemes. You have the very good looking HRC colours and a chic gloss black complete with HRC decals on the fairings. To distinguish this new updated SP model from the previous model and the non-SP model, they now have gold coloured wheels. The gold wheels contrast really well against the HRC colours and they match the Öhlins suspension of the SP, and for my money they look especially good against the black paintwork and again tie in well with the Öhlins forks. They are 3 outstanding paint schemes and the gold wheels get a double thumbs up from me. It's a nice touch and I really don't know which one I prefer. But that's the paint and some of the changes that you can see. Let's move on to those updates and some changes that are not so obvious. The peak power and torque figures have remained the same. Peak power is 214.5 horsepower at 14,500 RPM and torque is 82.6 pound-foot at 12,500 RPM. The engine is the short stroke or over square 999.9cc double overhead cam inline 4. The bore and stroke are 81 by 48.5mm, the same as the RC213V. The compression ratio has increased from 13.2 to 1 to 13.4 to 1, and although the headline figures are the same, Honda have worked to improve the mid-range of the engine and the drive and tractability out of and off the corners. To achieve a mid-range improvement, they reshaped the ram air intake, which now has a similar aperture to the RC213V MotoGP bike. The reshaping helps to smooth the airflow, and reworking of intake ports, intake funnels and the airbox has improved airflow velocity as well. These changes are coupled with the changes to the oval 4x2x1 exhaust system to optimize the airflow into and through the catalytic converter in the midsection of the exhaust. The exhaust system is then finished off with a titanium Aerodynamics silencer. Honda also took feedback from HRC riders around the world, not least of all the World Superbike teams, to help improve rear traction and throttle feel. As a result, the 2022 Fireblade now has refined and optimized Honda selectable torque control settings, also known as traction control. The updates improve the power, grip and feel. The gap between the intervention timing and slip rate of the wheels has been improved to smooth out the interventions from the system in a bid to make the system more intuitive for the rider. There is an upgraded quick shifter, which is quicker with a shorter fuel cut time and smoother torque pickup after shifting, and 3 teeth have been added to the final drive sprocket, which now has 43 teeth, and there is a revised spring loading on the fly-by-wire throttle to improve response and make it more linear when cracking the throttle open. All these improvements come directly from Honda's involvement in racing. In fact, much of the engine technology in the Fireblade's engine is shared with the RC213VS, itself a road bike directly descended from the MotoGP bike. Some highlights of the engine include the forged aluminium pistons with various treatments and coatings to improve reliability and performance. There is beryllium copper coating on the small end bushes, as well as diamond-like coated cam lobes, resulting in a reduction of valve train friction loss of 35% compared with non-coated. The engine has a number of other key but unseen engineering touches, like titanium conrods providing a 50% weight saving. It has semi-cam gear trains which drive from the crankshaft to enable the use of a shorter cam chain, and in order to keep an even temperature across the bore and reduce bore distortion and the accompanying friction, each cylinder has a built-in bottom bypass where non-cooled water is circulated while cooled water is circulated in the main water jacket, ensuring a more even temperature across the whole bore. In addition, there are a host of other details that Honda go into to not only improve performance but also make the engine more compact. The chassis is unchanged, but I will take you through the key features. It consists of a diamond style aluminium frame with 6 engine mounting points, and the subframe is also made of aluminium. The swing arm, as with the RC213VS, is also made from aluminium and has 18 different thicknesses of aluminium, all aimed at striking the right balance of grip and feel. The rear shock mount bolts directly to the back of the engine in order to improve rigidity and stability, and the suspension on the Fireblade SP is all-in second generation smart electronic controlled suspension with a semi-active TTX 36 rear shock and 43mm NPX forks. The SP also has Öhlins objective-based tuning interface, which allows adjustment and refinement of all the suspension settings, and in addition to the default settings, allows the rider 3 customizable modes which can be preset for wet or tricky road conditions, tyre wear at the track, or even a reducing fuel load. The rider can then switch quickly and easily between the presets they have stored in an instant while on the move. Brakes are Brembo Stylema 4-piston calipers on 320mm discs with a Brembo master cylinder. The rear brake setup is taken directly from the RC213VS with a Brembo caliper on a 220mm disc. The wheels are 17 inches, the rear takes a 255 tyre and the front a 120/70, and you have a choice of tyres from the factory, either Pirelli Supercorsa SPs or Bridgestone RS11s. Unsurprisingly, the Fireblade is full of technology. It comes with a Bosch 6-axis IMU which controls the 3-level shower electronic steering damper and allows for a host of other rider aids, including traction control or Honda selectable torque control that I mentioned earlier. This has 9 settings plus off. There is switchable ABS with sport and track settings, rear wheel lift control, wheelie control with 3 settings plus off. There are 3 rider modes in which all settings can be configured, including 5 power levels and 3 engine braking settings. There is also start mode, which I would call launch control, which can hold the RPM at 6, 7, 8 or 9000 RPM on a wide open throttle, allowing the rider to focus solely on getting the best clutch release. All these systems are operated via the handlebar controls and the 5-inch colour TFT display. The Fireblade also has all-round LED lights with self-cancelling indicators. Another key feature, pardon the pun, is the Smart Key, which allows for keyless ignition. This made the changes to the air intake and subsequent mid-range improvements possible, as there is no need for the key barrel in the ignition, which frees up a lot of space around the air intake. It also means you get a race bike look to the cockpit with an unencumbered top yoke. We'll take a quick look at the aerodynamics of the Fireblade, as this is an area that is becoming more and more important in racing and is undergoing a lot of development as it makes its way onto the road bikes. Honda have really focused on maximising the aerodynamic efficiency of the Fireblade. It has MotoGP RC213V derived winglets to increase downforce. In fact, they produce the same amount of downforce as the 2018 MotoGP bike. This helps to produce wheelies on acceleration and improve stability under braking. But it's not all about the winglets. Honda go into some detail about how they have sought to control the airflow around the wheels. Airflow around the front wheel is about getting more air to the radiator to cool the engine and reduce drag around the wheel itself. This actually means that less water hits the wheel when it's raining and improves grip in wet conditions. The rear hugger is designed to reduce air resistance around the rider's feet and to decrease rear lift. The result of all the aero work Honda have done is a class-leading drag coefficient of 0.27 with the SP in stock race trim. The CBR1000RR-R Fireblade SP is a bike with clear racing DNA. The non-SP Fireblade is essentially the same bike as the SP, but doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Instead of the Öhlins electronic suspension, you get Showa 43mm big piston forks and a Showa balance-free custom light rear shock. They are all fully adjustable, albeit manually. You do get the same rear brake setup as the SP and the RC213VS, but up front there are 4-piston Nissan calipers instead of the Brembos, although the Nissan calipers do have a new piston material and surface treatment to improve braking performance and reduce brake fade at the track. You can have the revised quick shifter on the non-SP, but it is an option and not standard as with the SP. As mentioned, if you want the limited edition 30th anniversary Tricolour paint, you will have to go for the SP, and the non-SPs have black painted wheels as opposed to the gold ones on the Fireblade SP version. There are a range of accessories for both Fireblades. These include a number of carbon bits and pieces along with some protection and other aesthetic items. There is also an Alcantara seat option and a 7-litre tank bag and an expandable rear seat bag to choose from. Pricing in the UK for the 2022 Fireblade SP with a limited edition 30th anniversary paint is £23,999. For the HRC colours or the black with the gold wheels, it is £23,499, or if you want to opt for the non-SP, it's £1 under £20,000. Unfortunately, prices in other regions are not available at the moment of making this video, and in the USA and Canada it looks like they are only advertising the 2020 and 2021 models for sale, so keep a lookout, but you can get a feel for the pricing differences between the models at least. And an extra £3,500 for the electronic Öhlins suspension, Brembo calipers and the quick shifter included doesn't seem too much more to pay to me for what you get. I think my choice would be the SP in black or HRC colours with those gold wheels. I do like the 30th anniversary paint scheme, and an extra £500 seems like a reasonable premium to pay for such an iconic livery and a limited numbered bike. But I do really like those gold wheels. Either way, whichever Fireblade you choose, it will clearly be a highly engineered machine down to the finest detail, with direct and clear links to its racing counterparts in both World Superbike and MotoGP. While doing the research for this video, I was impressed by the level of detail that Honda went into around the engineering elements of the bike. There was far too much to go into here, but I have tried to give you something of an overview. Suffice to say, I am much more impressed with the Fireblade now after going into those details than I was before. But those are my thoughts. What do you think? Do you like the 30th anniversary paint, or do you prefer one of the others? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more new content each week. You can click the links on screen for more now, but whatever you do, have a great day and thanks for watching.